Hey, this is Alvin.
This is Parapants.
We just watched Masou Gakuen HxH 3 and 4. It's
Seriously, why are you guys why do you guys listen to that one?
Listen
Huh?
to what?
Why do people just listen to the Masou Gakuen one? The other animes are so great.
I think what she's referring to is our reviews, or not reviews, our shows based on Honda Kun and what was the other one?
Sakamoto?
No, no,
Or
no, no. It was the cute Mob Psycho, which like nobody gave a shit about. But I mean, I don't know. I think anyone that actually listens to our stuff are just confused children or people whose English is not their first language.
I think it's the thumbnails you put. You
Yeah.
put like these giant tits on the thumbnails.
They're like, oh, it's titties. Oh, wait, oh, what is this? It's bullshit. But yeah, this cartoon sucks. We're gonna finish it because it's only 12 episodes, and I knew it would suck. But hey,
is
whatever.
is this the protagonist in question? Is this the example of a herbivore man
I wouldn't know because I ain't no herbivore man.
in Japan? You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, no, because I think herbivore men like shun women. They're just like fuck it. I don't. They're like
They shun. No. They're not MGTOW. They're just like
I don't know.
no. I think they just show no interest, or they're just like nice guys who don't like chase aggressively after women.
No, I don't think it's a.
I don't think
No,
they.
because I think this guy, he's a typical harem protagonist, and that existed a long time before herbivore men.
This guy, okay, I've got nothing against an erotic or etchy anime.
Well, this
I
is
lo-
it's not erotic. This is not erotic. Go ahead.
well, what the hell is this? Is it just etchy or what?
No, I mean it technically that you could call it erotic, but if you I mean look at it, it's to me it's not erotic. It fails at being erotic.
I don't even mind harem animes. They're not my favorite.
I do. I hate them.
I mean, if they're done well, I mean, Ranma One Half was kind of a harem, wasn't it?
Barely.
Barely, but it was funny, and at least Ranma really had something going for him. Like this guy is just there. He's
Yeah.
so not erotic. He's so not interesting. He's the most boring asshole I've ever seen in an anime.
Well,
And like the girls are just they're just begging him to feel them up. Please just put your hands all over my big sloppy boobs.
well, this is a budget show. Like remember, Ranma had a big ass cast of other people. Like
Was Tenchi Muyo this
I
terrible?
never watched Tenchi fucking Muyo, and I never watched Oh My Goddess either.
It was during that really terrible animation period.
I don't know. Where you're just like, how can they keep making? Why do people keep watching Tenchi Muyo? I don't
Yeah,
know.
exactly. I don't know. Apparently, though, in Japan, everybody loves One Piece, but that's
Well, that's not a harem, but
it's
anyway.
it's not. It's just one of those things that make you. Why the fuck do they watch this show? I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, like, all right. We started episode 3, and like right off the bat, this silver-haired chick is just talking shit, and like it's, I don't know. She's like talking shit to the main dude, talking shit to the pit crew, and it's like whatever, cunt, and then Uh, and then like the main character goes off with the American blonde. She goes like and explains how that titty rub in the last episode changed her life.
And he's so bothered by it.
He's like,
He's
huh?
like, I know it's a type, I know it's a trope, but it's so aggravating to watch a high school aged boy be bothered by hot, well endowed girls throwing their bodies at him. He's like, I mean, like, I could see it. If this guy were gay, that would make
Oh,
so much
that would be
sense.
so good if
That
this
would
guy
be
was
so
gay.
good. If the protagonist was actually gay and he was made to like be this, Eros figure where he had to feel up the girls in order to power their suits and re-energize them, and I could see that would make so much more sense and it would be way funnier.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. But yeah, I mean, he gets all embarrassed when she like gets close, and then he literally runs into the chick, the red chick. I don't remember her name, and they do that thing. You know the thing where he bumps into her and like he's awkwardly holding on to her and stuff. I'm like, oh god, how can you keep after all these years? How can you keep writing that gag? This is like this is like Lucy just pulling the football over and over again for like 50 fucking years. I'm like, actually, I don't know.
Do they even know about Lucy pulling the football?
Yeah, what if they don't fuck him? All right, and then he goes back to that silver-haired chick who's like, "Hey, have some lunch." And then the nigga's, I guess this is a Japanese thing. He's like, "Was this handmade?" And I would have snatched that shit back and be like, "Nigga, fuck you. You hungry or like?" I mean, what boy is afraid of giant tits, but his sandwich he gets a boner over a handmade sandwich. I'm like, jeez,
Japanese boys
you
apparently.
soft ass bitch. Oh, it's like, oh man, and then I will give them credit for like the next part where she's like, "Hey, I got something else you can eat," and I'm like, "Yeah, this cartoon sucks. There's no way they're gonna." Oh shit, that's exactly what they meant. She starts lifting up her skirt, and I'm like, well, did they really imply that she wanted him to chow down on that fucking tasty box? And they absolutely did. And I'm like, you know what? You guys have
They got points for that.
yeah, that was funny. And yeah, but of course, our hero, who seems to have no problem being romantically involved with three women at once, and going from titty to titty and butt rub to butt rub, he cannot just hunker down on some tasty men. She's got to get to know you first, because otherwise that's wrong. And I'm like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, whatever, dude. Stretch this shit out. But I thought that was lame. Well, I think the whole show is lame, but that was particularly lame. They get a little flashback to the mom, and he has core installation surgery, which I guess is one way to make sure your kid gets laid. If you put this thing in him where he's like, yeah, now you get to power up chicks by feeling them. What I'm saying is, I wish my mom was a titty scientist, and
Well,
then I
she
could
would
have been
also
that guy.
have to design hot girls to like require
Yeah,
heavy petting, or else they'll die.
yeah, we find that out at the end of this episode too. And one thing that really bothers me is like, well, first of all, that flashback thing. Why did that have to go into his eye? It could have just been on a screen.
What are you talking about?
When she's like, hey, all right, when they show the flashback of the mom and the test pilot, she's like, all right, watch out. This is going to go right in your fucking eye. And some beam shoots in his eye or some shit. And there he sees it. But it's like, why?
I think in the director's cut, it actually went up the penis hole.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just
I thought you were
kidding.
going to say the butt. And I'm like, haha, that's funny. And then you went to the penis hole. I'm like, no. Damn it. But and then like afterwards, he's like, "Oh, do you mean these hybrid counts? If every chick on this island needs to get fucking felt up, or else they die?" And I'm like, "Wait. Did you just see your mom kill that test pilot? That doesn't bother you at all? You just gonna gloss over that?" And he's like, "Yep. I'm not even rustled by my mom murdering this test pilot who was begging
Hey,
for her life."
it was for science, okay? Deal with it.
I don't know. I thought that was horrible. Yeah, so that was the end of that episode. So now he realizes that if these chicks don't have sex with him, they'll die. And he's like, oh no. Oh, the responsibility. And I don't know.
What great power.
I guess so. Episode 4. Wait, how did he get her from the battle? So when did the battle start? Was that the beginning of episode 4?
Who
I don't
fucking
know. They have
knows?
another fight. Silver-haired girl is, she's just fucking not bringing it, and he goes out and saves her. And then they have this long, boring
Oh my
fucking
God, it
conversation.
was so long. It was like I don't even know what they were talking about. She was like whining about her tragic past.
No, she doesn't even. Well, all right, she doesn't remember most of her past. She's talking about her, her past in the lab.
Yeah, and me and Alvin were like, "Oh my gosh, are they still talking?" We were like,
I'm
totally
like, all right,
checked
I get
out.
it. Yeah, you used to. All you have is being the best, and if you take that away, then you don't have anything.
I
I'm like,
mean, any boner that a viewer may have worked up till this point, this scene totally kills it.
no, he's working. I think the Japanese dude watching this is like, slowly, lubing up, and he's like, it's coming.
Oh, is this the part where you go make a sandwich like you often say whenever Khaleesi comes on?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know if it's sandwich time or not. I think it's just budget. It's like it's a lot easier just to animate two faces, cutting back and forth and just shitload of dialogue about how I want to be the very
I
best,
mean, it
like no
really
one
just
ever was.
like this conversation that goes on between Chidori Gafchi and what's his name? What is the
I don't know what
protagonist?
this nigga's name is.
Kizuna?
I don't know.
Whatever. I don't know. Like this whole long talk takes place in the lab where Chidori Gafchi is healing up, and she pretty much tells the hero her frustrations and her insecurities, and they have like a little shouting match about whether she's truly useless or not. And of course, she gets convinced that she's not useless, that she has a place. But this whole scene just seems to slow down the action, whatever action was building up. And it's not even a particularly riveting scene. It's not compelling in any way. The characters don't seem fleshed out at all. I mean, that whole scene could have taken place like within a third of a time, saying like, I just want to do my best and make people love me, and I'm just a useless person. And then he like embraces her, and then they do their thing, and it's over. But it just
Well,
takes so damn
look,
long.
first she goes off on how she feels useless. Then he tells his life story on how like, yeah, I felt useless too, but somebody told me, hey, don't do that, and I was like, oh, okay. And then they start boning because she feels better.
Yeah, you know what? What did Dave Chappelle said? Like, facts, who, what, when.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, that's the guy's story, but
Yeah, who wrote this?
I don't know. Somebody. Well, they were like, look, just eat up some time with some dialogue.
Yeah, we're tired of animating like gelatinous tits. Can you just like have them talk for a while?
That's the only well animated because like the battles are so fucking budget. It's like I just shot a big blast and then cut to a long shot of enemies and a bunch of explosions. I'm like, you can't do it any cheaper than that.
Okay, so let's get to like the good part. So after they Kizuna and
The good part. What?
well, the part that people are watching for, because it can't be for the battles. The battles are boring.
Are you gonna go into the sex scene?
Could you even call that
yeah, the
sex?
petting scene.
It's petting, and so eventually, he feels warmed up enough to her, I guess, to start feeling her up. And this is funny, but when he starts, whenever they go into one of these scenes where Kizuna has to feel up the girls, they go into this, this sequence, and his eyes disappear.
Yeah, we call that creep mode.
It's
Or-
creep mode. It's porn. It's hentai mode where like the guy's face has to disappear from the scene.
Yeah, well, his face is there, but his eyes are replaced by this dark gradient.
It's-
But he had eyes in a few shots. I mean, like when he finally hunkered down on that tit, and that like made her come like a million times.
yeah, because that's
That I know. I read that in the book. That's what you do.
yeah, when you just latch onto a girl's boob, just rub it really vigorously and give it a couple of shakes, that's enough to just make her explode. Her
Yeah.
lady juice all over
They
the
did have
place.
that one scene where she kind of planted herself down on his crotch, and like, if we could put a dick in this show, this is where it would be. It's like, well, you didn't, so I'm not impressed.
Yeah. So like it was just a bunch of you do well in the uncensored version you see nipple.
This is the uncensored version.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Like in the uncensored version you do see nipple, and I don't think it gets any further than that.
I think I am very disappointed with the amount of eroticism in this show. It seems to have gone down since the beginning.
Yeah.
Like the third episode barely had any tit at all. This one had a little, and like I don't know. And plus, like after this, like I mean, they talk about the immoral weapon and how how you have to go beyond your normal hybrid count to get it. And I thought, well, that's probably not going to happen until like the middle of the season. But no, it happened right now, and I think
And for what? Because the battles are boring. I mean, what it seems to me, if you're not going to be very good in one area, the sex, at least be good in the battles. But it's not even good in the battles.
no, this show sucks. I picked it, and I will tell you, it sucks. It sucks at the sex. It sucks at battles. It sucks at everything. It sucks at humor. But I'm thinking like,
And there's so many better shows that do this well.
yeah, well, we didn't pick them. Like if you want, I mean, if you want to
Because
make,
my
God
point
damn
is
it.
that it is possible to do this very well, to have an erotic sci-fi show.
Yeah, no, I believe it is. Do you remember? Do you remember Lex? There was
Les?
a, no, no, there was a live action sci-fi show that was slightly pornographic. I think it was called Lex. You don't
Was
remember that?
that American?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
We'll look it up afterwards. No, but I wanted to say,
Was that on the Playboy
I
channel?
don't think so.
Were you sneaking watching that like on
I'll
the
show you
Cinemax channel?
afterwards. It was on like I don't know if it was on Sci-Fi After Dark or what. You remember like that they had an adult 3D cartoon with this purple alien with three eyes, right?
Oh yeah, I do. I do kind of
That
remember
I think
that.
was on Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
Was it Tripping the Rift? Maybe.
Maybe,
All
but
right.
it wasn't funny. That's all I
No, no.
remember.
All right, all right. What I want to say is, if you're gonna make out, now they need an even bigger secret weapon because they've already pulled out the immoral gear, and she didn't even have to do insertion. Like, if you're gonna say I need to get extra horny to get a super weapon, you should use. I mean, there should be vaginal insertion or anal.
And the weapon was just what a big Kamehameha blast. That's it.
That's what they always are. They don't want to think about this very hard. The guys working on this are probably like, well, if they did listen to our show, they're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to work on this either.
I
But
mean, like Kizuna could have at least pulled out like sperm cannon. That would have been interesting.
yeah, if his like, if he had like a crotch cannon that shot at enemies, then that'd at least be funny. But I don't know. Yeah, like I said, I don't know why why be mediocre when you're also being taboo? Why hold back when you're doing a show about tits? I don't understand it.
Yeah. Give it your all at least. This is low energy, guys.
It's like they were going for a special PG-13 time slot. Like, oh, we want to titillate, but not too much.
But it still has nips in it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not Japanese. I don't know.
Low energy eroticism. Sorry.
Yeah, but all right. Well, that was episodes 3 and 4. Can't wait to see what happens with this other shadowy, big tit, green haired chick. I hope the good dude's mom is dead because she killed that test
You
pilot.
know she's not. She's alive.
I hope she's dead.
She's probably like the new threat, the boss of the. I don't know. She's probably like she's gonna rise out of the water like the monsters in Pacific Rim with the most gigantic tits you've ever seen.
This does need bigger tits because I mean I know by regular standards these tits are big, but the tits are big, but the chicks are small. That's the problem. So I don't know. All right, I'm done with this shit.